Hi, it's your girl Rhonda, aka Shy Girl, aka Fly Girl. Welcome to the Poindexter Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some brown sugar cookies per my Aunt Alice's request. I put a picture of me prepping all of the ingredients, and I guess she felt like that wasn't enough because some people need step-by-step instructions, and I'm so happy that she asked me to do this because some of my friends have been asking me to do some home tutorials on hair, nails, making jewelry, and crocheting, and one of my all-time favorites, which is cooking. So I didn't know if I should put my stunner shades on and go Hollywood chef on you. What do you think? No? Okay, I don't think so either. I'm just going to be an ordinary wife, working mom of two, and I'm going to inspire all of my young ladies on how to cook. So first I want to show you the temperature that I started with. You always want to preheat your oven so that it's already hot. You don't want to put whatever you're baking in as the oven is trying to rise to the temperature that you want. So for our cookies, we are going to set it on 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the ingredients, it's a very simple recipe, very few ingredients, and it is so delicious. I've tried to do sugar cookies before in the past, and I just didn't really like them too much. I wasn't a fan of it, but then I found this recipe, and I am so in love with it, and I hope you and your family and friends will love it as well. So first, all-purpose flour, any type. This is bleach. I'm really trying to switch over to unbleached flour just because of carcinogens and cancer-causing agents and things like that. Then all vegetable shortening. Of course, I love Crisco. I think everybody knows about Crisco. And then you want your brown sugar, and I think this really does make the difference in my recipe as far as sugar cookies go. Then you want to have your salt and your baking soda. I have Arm & Hammer, and then my butter and your vanilla. So that's all of the ingredients. I'm going to put this aside and let you know about the tools that you need. Very basics. Of course, you're going to use a measuring cup. You will need a whisk. And I have a teaspoon measure here. And I kind of like the traditional teaspoon because when I'm measuring out my cookies and rounding my dough, I think it makes it a little bit easier. And a sifter. I love this thing. I just got it and I think it's awesome. So, of course, you need your hand blender, your baking sheet, and your wire rack for cooling. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and get started. I cheated and I already prepped everything. So, first of all, I want to let you know that I'm cooking this because we're having a potluck at my job tomorrow. So I made, I doubled the recipe. So the amount that I'm telling you, normally you wouldn't use this much. So you want to take what I'm telling you and cut it in half. And that'll be your regular serving. Regular makes 4 batches. Or 4 dozen. This is going to make 8. So you probably don't need this much. Everybody's going to be really fat if you do. So I started with 1 cup of butter, which everyone knows 1 stick is equal to 1/2 cup. So 2 sticks of butter. And then also 1 cup of my vegetable shortening. And you always want to make sure that your butter is at room temperature before you start baking. That just makes the texture what you want. So it makes it easier to blend. So I'm going to mix it on medium. And you just want to cream it together. Make sure it's nice and smooth. As you can see, it's starting to cream up real nice. You always want to make sure that you get your size. Jeez, that thing is really noisy. So as you can see, it's nice and creamy. So that was our butter and our shortening. Next, I'm going to add my egg and my vanilla flavoring. And I use 2 eggs and 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. And you mix that all up. sometimes when you mix together your creamy and your liquids first and then add your dry, it just makes it a little bit easier to blend. So I'm going to pour this in. And it's good if you have your eggs at room temperature if you can as well. Alright, and now I'm going to add my brown sugar. It's 2.5 of firmly packed cups of brown sugar. So I'm going to add this in. Sometimes I like to add it a little bit at a time. Blend better. I'm laughing because some of it just shot out on my husband's leg. He is my videographer. So he's wearing his food, his dessert for the night. Continuing to mix this up. And believe it or not, this is halfway done. Strong when you're using a hand blender. I'm going to move up and get an official mixing bowl and blender, so I won't have to do all this hard work. But my biceps will appreciate it. Then I like to go around and actually, let me see if I have my little side scraper in here. Oh, here we are. I don't have to dirty up my spoon. I can just come around and get my edges to make sure everything is mixed. See, that's not mixed up because it was hanging out on the side of the bowl. So I kind of want to bring that to the middle. This makes it a lot easier, especially when you're doing cakes and other baking items. And okay, this was 4 cups of flour. Oh, and I did want to stop here and show you how to use the sifter because a lot of people are like, what's that? It's kind of old school. My mom and my aunt, they don't even have one, but my grandmother always baked with it. So I just saved a cup just to show you how it works. But it just makes sure that there are no clumps and that it's fine. That way, get a better, a nice texture, especially with cakes. This makes your powder, or whatever you're using your flour, excuse me, finer. I love this little gadget. I just got it. So that's been sifted. Now we're going to add, this was 4 cups of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 full teaspoon of our baking soda. And that's all the ingredients. So now all that is left for me to do is add this a little bit at a time and blend it up just like we did everything else. And this is actually, of course I kind of cheated because I had everything prepped out, so you do have to consider the time that you have to take to measure it out, but I think we're only like 5 minutes in and it's almost done. I think nowadays when everybody's working, people want quick and easy especially because I work and I have little kids, I'm always tired, and so I do a lot of crock pot cooking and finding recipes that are quick and easy but taste just as yummy as other items that require you to slave in the kitchen for hours. So me cooking, I guess I just kind of self-taught myself, and I remember my grandparents cooking, and I watched them in the kitchen a lot, and I just kind of remembered it, and I just kind of play with things, and I find recipes online, out of books, from friends. Sometimes I just taste things and kind of guess what's in there, and it usually turns out good. So I'm going to come back with a part 2 with this mixed up. And I'm going to show you how you scoop it out and place it on your baking sheets, and then we'll see it come in the oven and out the oven. So, thank you for viewing. Again, this is Rhonda Poindexter with Brown Sugar Cookies. See you in a minute.